We're delighted to welcome our next guest to Virginia this morning, Reverend Roy Bell, Senior National Chaplain with Fairways for Warriors. It is great to see you today, Reverend. Thank you so much for making time. And this is a really amazing project that the chapter just came to Central Virginia here in about the last 2 years.
That's correct, Jessica. We have formed a new chapter here in Virginia. And we originally started with just myself and another combat wounded veteran. And since then, we've grown to nearly 60 members, which is our current numbers right now. And we're continuously growing each week as word gets out to other veterans, because golf is such a unique tool for people to cope with their everyday issues. You watch golf on TV and people think, well, how boring that can be. You know, you're just hitting a little small ball around, chasing it around the course, but it's very, very therapeutic. And there's been a lot of success in bringing combat veterans to the golf course.
And that's incredible. We'll get to that a little bit in some of the ways that golf is really helping. But in establishing this chapter, you said it's grown. It's been about 2 years, and it is growing rapidly, but you really want to make sure that folks get the word out. Let's talk through that mission of helping combat wounded warriors.
The biggest thing we strive for is helping combat wounded veterans of all eras. We're not limiting anyone to a certain combat era like Vietnam or post 9/11. We welcome everybody that's a combat wounded veteran. And our definition of a combat wounded veteran is any veteran that's been to a combat theater and has sustained any sort of physical or mental injuries. The biggest stipulation that is in the veteran community now is the unseen wounds of war that many of us deal with. And it's something that plagues us on a daily basis. And our mission is really to try to help those veterans deal with that in a positive way so that they don't commit suicide or fall to the number of 22 a day.
And an incredibly important mission in making sure that this population is served. Let's go back to how golf relates to that. You said it can be particularly therapeutic, PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and really through the socialization too.
That's correct. A lot of issues with PTSD can be resolved when you have someone to focus on one particular thing. And golf seems like a fairly simple sport, but there's a lot of work that goes into it, even though all you're doing is swinging a club. And it really takes a lot of focus and a lot of attention just to make the right movements and having the right mindset, because it's all about grounding yourself at all times and making sure that you're in full control of yourself mentally to make sure that you can maintain that healthy aspect of the game.
You were just sharing an amazing story with me, Roy, about a combat wounded veteran that had recently joined and the ability to be able to get out on the course.
Yes, this veteran, he's an Air Force veteran. He lives out in the Suffolk area. He is living life in a wheelchair right now. And the thought of having to deal with that is a struggle for a lot of people. So when he discovered that golf has the adaptive technologies, we immediately connected with him and started to get him out on the course. We have adaptive equipment for him, a specialized golf cart called a Solar Rider that's specifically designed for people in wheelchairs so that they can play golf and enjoy the game just like everybody else.
Yeah. You have an important fundraiser coming up, of course, in the pandemic era that we are in now. Those fundraiser events have been incredibly hard to host, but you have one on the horizon coming up in September.
Correct. September 12th is our charity golf tournament at the First Tee in Chesterfield. They have been a great organization to partner and collaborate with. So they were gracious enough to offer us this time to have our tournament there. And this is an opportunity for anyone that wants to play golf to come out and enjoy a round with a combat wounded veteran. by going to the website and signing up at fairwaysforwarriors.org. Or if you just want to be a sponsor for the event, we have different levels of sponsorship that you can register for. And not just only that, if you want to be a sponsor at any time, we have golf clinics 1 to 2 times a month at a minimum to try to keep our members engaged, get them out of the house, get them active, get them social with other veterans that are dealing with some of the same issues. So we're always looking for sponsors to help make that possible, because that is an opportunity that a lot of veterans don't get, that are cooped up in the house all the time because of their PTSD or their TBI.
Well, thank you for all that you do. It's incredible, and it's very encouraging to know that this Fairways for Warriors has been established here in Central Virginia and the work that you're doing. Thanks so much for making time for us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, our pleasure. And we will be sure to post a direct link on WTVR.com/VTM so you can learn more about Fairways for Warriors and that upcoming fundraiser in September at First Tee in Chesterfield.
The second annual Fairways for Warriors Memorial Scramble, in partnership with the First Tee's Chesterfield Golf Course, is scheduled for Saturday, September 12th. Check-in begins at 7:30 a.m. and the shotgun start takes place at 9 a.m. For more information on Fairways for Warriors or this event, you can visit them online at fairwaysforwarriors.org. And stay tuned. We'll be right back after this quick break.